I'm going to score one amazing goal with every price of football, starting with the cheapest ball on the market, going all the way up to the most expensive, costing $5,000. And I'll be ranking each football on this tier list to see how much price really matters. So let's take a look at our first football of the video, which is the cheapest ball on the market, and it cost me just £5.
So this is our cheapest football of the video, and in theory should be the worst. It's quite plasticky and it's very, very light. I'm interested to see how this will perform. Let's take a few shots with the world's cheapest football. Oh my, that is very light.
So our £5 football didn't get off to a great start, and I still need to score an amazing goal with it before I can move on to the next one.
Right, so for my amazing goal with the cheapest ball, I'm gonna do a no-look top bins penalty, because I'm not sure it can do much more than that, to be honest. Let's be honest, this ball isn't great, but it did only cost me £5, so I can't complain too much.
So for me, the £5 ball has to go in the D tier. Not the worst ball ever, but I don't think it will be able to compete with the more expensive footballs coming up. But now let's check out our next football, which costs just £9.
And it looks like this. I don't think it's going to be great.
So as you can see, this is not exactly how you'd expect a football to arrive, but I can assure you that the packaging gets a lot better as we progress through the video. So this is our £9 football, but what's it like to use?
First few touches with this feels absolutely solid. It doesn't feel great, but it's not terrible. I think when we kick this thing, that's when we'll really find out. I've got to admit, this ball is very slippy.
So after testing the ball out, it was time to score an amazing goal. But what am I going to do?
I'm going to hit the ball off the bar, and as it bounces back, volley it in the back of the net. Let's try it. Yes, there we go.
So an amazing goal ticked off, but where will this ball rank on our tier list? Well, if I'm honest, it wasn't the best football ever. It was quite plasticky and had no bounce to it, so it's going to have to go in the D tier. But next, we upgrade to our £17 football, where things start to get a lot better.
So this is our £17 football. We're only on the third ball of the video and they're already really good. Let's test it out.
This is genuinely a really good ball. It looks cool, it's got a lot of padding, and definitely feels like it should cost more than just £17. I took a few shots and was very impressed with how nice it felt to strike. Now, for my amazing goal with this ball, I wanted to do a rainbow flick volley. So I've got to say, this ball was quality, and I'm going to put it in the A tier. It's crazy to think that on our third football, we've already put one so high on the tier list, but it genuinely is that good. But next up, it's time to see what you'll get for £50.
Okay, so now we're up to £50 with this football, and if I'm honest, it feels really good. I don't see how we can get a football too much better than this.
So this is a replica to the Euros final ball, and it looks great. I did a few skills and took a few shots, and I was very impressed. Now, for my amazing goal, I wanted to try something a bit different. So once again, another fantastic football. This has to go in the A tier, but how can they get much better than this? Well, maybe our £100 football will give us the answer to that.
Right, so next up we move up to £100, and our football at this price range is the Premier League ball.
Now, it's pretty crazy that we're only on our fifth ball of the video and we're already using the same ball that the pros use. What could footballs later on in the video possibly have that this doesn't? Now, if this is the ball that the Premier League players use, it's obviously pretty good. It felt nice to kick and had a good amount of padding on it and a cool design.
Right, so now with our amazing goal with the £100 football, I'm going to try and curve the ball into the stanch.
So with our £100 ball tested, it was time to rate it. Now obviously this is a great football, but I wouldn't say it was any better than the previous two, so it's going to go in the A tier. So with our £100 ball tested, this is where things start to get expensive. We've got footballs coming up costing over £1,000. But next, how good is a £150 ball? So this ball is a limited edition release from Nike. It's a rare football and that's why it's so expensive, but what's it like to use?
And it does feel really nice. It feels very similar to a Nike Audum, which isn't a bad thing.
So testing this ball out, it did feel really good, especially when it came to skills. And the classic design looks very clean. But now for my amazing goal with this ball. I wanted to try a Rabona. So now it's time to rate the £150 football, and honestly, it was really good. And once again, it's going to have to go in the A tier. And that A tier is getting pretty busy now. I'm not sure what it's going to take to make it into the S tier. Maybe our £226 football will have a chance. So this ball is like nothing I've seen before. I mean, just check out the box it comes in.
But this ball is completely handmade and hand-stitched with the finest Italian leather. So this is going to be super interesting to see how this performs.
This is made by John Paul's Balls and it cost £226, but the quality is unbelievable. It was limited release and sold out in just a few hours, and it's seriously such a unique football. Now, there is one problem with this ball. I tested it out on a wet, muddy surface, and when a ball's made out of real leather, that isn't ideal. But I was still determined to score a really nice goal with it. So, the 92 Pentagons ball for me has to go in the S tier. It's truly such a unique ball. I mean, just look at the box it comes in, and I think it's fully deserving of our first S tier spot. But next up, things are starting to get really expensive as we check out a £350 football.
Right, £350 and we've got the Adidas Smart Ball. Now this is different to any other ball on this video, and in my opinion is actually one of the best. Let me show you why this thing is so good. Right, so let me show you why this ball is so good. I've got an app on my phone here and the ball basically connects to your phone. It sounds like an ad. This isn't an ad. I'm just showing you how cool this is. And it says here, tap when ready to kick. So I can click that, whistle blows, tells me to kick the ball. So now it tells me on this phone that that shot was 62 miles per hour and had 243 revolutions per minute of spin on it. It shows the strike point of the ball and just a load of really cool information. So I've got to say, this ball is really, really impressive.
So an impressive start for our £350 ball. But for my amazing goal, I wanted to try a Trivela.
Ah. Oh.
Now, in case you're wondering, that shot was 57 miles per hour.
Right, so the £350 football, honestly, I think this is unbelievable. And for me, it's got to go in the S tier. What a football.
So that's now 2 footballs in the S tier. And we still have our 4 most expensive balls left. Let's see what a £500 football looks like.
Right, £500. Obviously the Jabulani was going to be included in this video. It's an absolute beauty, one of the rarest footballs on the market. Obviously with this ball, I'm going to have to score a knuckleball.
The Jabulani is one of the most iconic footballs of all time, so no surprise it comes with such a hefty price tag. This ball is the king of knuckle and it moves like crazy. So for our amazing goal, of course, we're going to have to score a knuckleball.
Oh! 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 Oh my! Honestly, the Jabulani is just the best football ever.
So I feel like there should be an extra tier for the Jabulani because it really is that good, but I'm going to put it in the S tier. So far, the more expensive balls have definitely lived up to their price tag, but will this continue with our £800 football? So the £800 ball comes in this very fancy box, and it's made by luxury designer brand Prada. Let's get it unboxed.
This thing is crazy. It comes with this sort of own little case, ball carrier case. I guess we'll have to test it out and then see where it ranks on our tier list. Right, so first thing to notice about this ball, it does feel very light, but I'm sure most of the people that buy this £800 football definitely not kicking it around on a muddy pitch like this.
So I did a few skills and took a few shots, and honestly, this ball was pretty good. Normally when designer brands make football products, they're not great, but this ball was a bit of an exception. I mean, you would hope so for £800 to be fair.
Now, my amazing goal with this football is to score from an extremely tight angle. Oh!
So the Prada ball was decent, but it didn't blow me away, so it's going to go in the B tier. So this is how our tier list is looking with just 2 balls left to test out, and our next football costs £1,000.
So the £1,000 football, and I've got to say, this is definitely my favourite of the video. Just look at that, man, it's absolutely beautiful. I think we can all agree, at least looks wise, this is definitely the best football of the video so far. I'm excited to test this out and see what it's like.
So this is the Teamgeist, the official football of the 2006 World Cup, and it's in the special edition colourway for the final game. This ball has since gone on to be a sought after collector's item, hence the insane price tag.
Right, first few touches with this football. Before I use it, can I just say, just look at it. I'm not sure there's any footballs that actually look better than this. It's an absolute beauty. Let's test it out. And yeah, feels really good to use and just looks so cool, man.
Now for my amazing goal with this ball, I wanted to hit a power shot into the top bins.
Right, let's be honest, this ball for me, it's an absolute beauty. It's got to go in the S tier.
So that's yet another ball in the S tier. And most of these footballs in this video have actually really impressed me. But what will I think of our most expensive ball?
Right, so our final football of the video, it costs $5,000 and it comes in this really nice sort of fabric bag. Let's see what you get for that price. Boom. This is the Louis Vuitton football. It comes with a label here. It says, you have just purchased an original Louis Vuitton creation, which has its own unique number. This real soccer ball in monogram canvas with the official emblem of the World Cup is manufactured in limited edition.
So the packaging was pretty impressive, but what's it like to use?
All right, drop test with the Louis V ball. Let's go. You know what, actually better than I thought. It's not too bad. The ball does feel rock solid. It's got cracks in it. Let's test it out.
So if I'm honest, this ball wasn't great. I'm guessing it's more of a collector's item than a ball to be kicked about.
I'm not sure what sort of goal I'm going to be able to score with this because it's not in great condition.
So with our most expensive ball, I decided to score an Air Rabona. So for me, the Louis V ball has got to go in the C tier. It's pretty cool, but it's just not very good to use. And this is our final tier list. And I think it just proves you don't need to spend a lot of money to have a good football.